Oh, yeah. We were on. Everyone was like, it's 6 o'clock. My routine that I've trained into for the year. Baby watches live stream at 6, has dinner, and then goes bedtime. Nah. We're up late tonight, 7 p.m. And it is late for me. I actually don't know what I'm going to do with myself. I go to bed at 9:30. I get in bed. I'll chuck on some Footy Classified, or I'll chuck on some election stuff, and then I fall into sweet, sweet sleep. Hello, everyone. What's up, party people? Hello, and thank you again to Richard. Richard always comes in and drops the dosh.
Yeah, drops the gifted subs.
You.
Legend.
Tom, it's also context for Tom. Tom has been going.
Do you include the exercise? Or
Yeah,
what?
absolutely.
Then I've been going since 5:30.
Tom got up to what? How many Ks?
I did 5.
Congrats.
It was actually a bit of a struggle this morning, believe it or not.
Yeah, of course. I do believe that. Waking up at 5:30 to do 5 kilometres.
Yeah, and I've done it every
Absolutely.
day, so I feel like it was funny. It's not necessarily tight, like my muscles tight, but just a little bit of joint soreness around the knees and stuff. And I was like, oh, it's not feeling great today, you know?
No, that's,
Gotta be careful with
now
that.
it's take a day here or there.
Yeah, but
Because
glad
you're
I
ahead of-
haven't like pulled any muscles or had like serious muscle pain yet, just joint pain.
I get really, it's my right knee,
Yeah, right.
really achy.
Yeah, right.
Which I actually kind of like that I have an excuse not to run. It's so boring.
I know. An hour as well. I used to do like 20, half an hour, but I can't do this anymore. I'm doing an hour every day. It's just like insufferable.
Do you listen to music or podcasts?
I have a really fancy treadmill because I had to get one that's for 150 kilos, and none of like the cheap chill ones would. It has to be like 50 kilos over your weight so that you don't burn the motor out. So basically the only ones that could take 200 kilos had like a screen.
Oh.
So I have YouTube.
Oh, great. Oh, that's good.
So I watch YouTube.
That's great, yeah.
The only thing that I can like when I go do long cardios at the gym, the only thing that will make me not think about the cardio is TikTok.
Yeah, right.
Because it's so quick.
Yeah, you can get TikTok can make hours go.
Yeah. Oh, don't I know it.
So it's really helpful for cardio. Just be flicking.
Just flicking.
Just be flicking. Hey everyone, how you going? Should we crack in?
Sure, we can.
I'm not gonna spoil it, but 7 o'clock more people watch.
Oh yeah, we've noticed this many times.
It's really hard for me to get here post office. So I'm all for the 7 p.m. time slot.
Yeah.
I mean, it's Tom because he has to edit it afterwards to get it up for tomorrow.
True.
Yeah, but I don't mind too much. Usually the Wednesdays are like 45 minutes, so it doesn't bother. It's the bloody Mondays where we do an hour and a half.
But if we could figure out a way to get you on a treadmill editing,
That would be so cool.
Why don't we podcast on treadmills? Well,
we are doing
gonna
that.
do that.
that's
We're going to do that on
right.
grand final day.
Yeah.
Before we start, can I say hello to my Auntie Lilia and Uncle Rod who are watching for the first time with my parents?
Of course.
They're all sitting around
Yeah, so they're at my parents' house and they'll all be watching on the TV. Chromecast it up.
in New South Wales.
Bathurst, yeah.
Well, hello to the family. Hello to Greg.
Hello, family.
Hello. Give me all the names again.
Auntie Lilia,
Auntie Lilia,
Uncle Rod,
Rod,
Greg, my dad,
Greg,
and Diana, my mum.
Diana, I have a personal message for you. I need to give you back your book.
Oh, yeah.
It's been sitting in my house for a while. I have landscaped my garden. I do no longer need the book, but it was very helpful. Thank you. And there are lots of birds around, but I don't want them around anymore because they're attacking me when I walk my dog because it's spring.
Oh, yeah,
And a magpie.
magpies.
There's one magpie, and I have to eyeball him the whole walk. And I yell at him now, and people think I'm crazy. I'm like, you're not getting me. You're not getting. And he lines in, and then you go no, and he goes and he turns out. This is all true. This is what
Sounds
my
like
life is.
Jack Ginnivan. Oh, no,
Yes.
he plays for the Hawks now. Take it back. He sounds like
Dacos, Maya
Billy
Check,
Elliot? I don't
Pendlebury, Billy Elliot.
yeah, Jamie Elliott. They call him Billy.
Oh, do they?
That's clever.
Like the Dunson boy
Yeah.
from Billy Elliot. Let's do it. Do you smell that, friends? It's in the air. I'm just doing another hype video. It's time. The September fever's in the air. And it's time to bounce that pill. Happy September 5th, everyone. We are 5 days into the men's final month. It is I'm just chomping at the bit to be able to watch football. 2 games this weekend. One goes home forever. And by forever, I mean till March-ish next year. But if The AFL gets their way until January when the football season will start again. The W start. There's so much to cut through, like a hefty forest that you're through a jungle. We must cut through the. Help me, guys. Please, we must cut through all of it. And to help me, my trusty mate, Marnie.
Hello.
Thank you.
No worries.
Now, Marnie, are you psyched about finals and the W?
I am. I had a very stressful day because I had to work out the hellscape that is Ticketek when more tickets came available for Sydney JWS. But I got them. They're from my mum and dad, but I got them. And it's honestly, I mean, I know everyone's already hyped on about how shit that system is, but I had mum and dad trying for tickets. I got my producer to try for tickets. I was trying for tickets. And Dr. Casey Simons was also trying for tickets. And Casey was the last person to go into the waiting room. And she was the first person.
Yeah, there's no rhyme or reason. And I can talk to you, Tom, about this too. Hello, Tom. Welcome.
Hi, how are you?
You've been firing since 5 a.m. on the treadmill into a day of shooting stuff, and now you're here.
Yeah.
You're firing on all cylinders.
Feeling good.
Ticketing is in a horrible, horrible place globally to the point where we did a world tour last year, Marnie, and we had shows, for example, our Philadelphia shows sold out on the day that tickets went on sale. Like, that's great news. Walk out in Philadelphia and I reckon it was 90% full. And you go, row of people missing there, people missing there. And you know, like, it's 6 months in advance. Some people can't come or they forget or someone falls ill or they're running late. But we started to regularly see it on this tour everywhere. And what it was is there's algorithm websites who buy tickets now and try and double sell them at the price and scalp them out. And Oasis is encountering this where tickets are bajillion dollars more than the originals. And there's nothing you can do about it.
It makes me actually really mad, especially when it comes to the footy and you have people who go every single week, like let's say just like Swanee's go every single week and then they can't actually go to a final because, I don't know, rich people swoop in at the last minute or there's scalping or whatever. Like, that makes me sad.
It's part of, I was thinking about this as well because the Oasis ticket's going on sale, but it's also with the footy as well. And Tanya in our office who goes for the pies, and it's always hard to get tickets for the pies. She asks everyone in the office to get on and get on the waiting list. And it's just completely, it's part of the experience is securing the tickets.
It's so stressful.
Yeah, but no, it's from what I've heard, it's been a literal disaster for anyone trying to buy tickets.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the truth of it is, right, is it's like the only person that loses is like the person putting on the event and the fans. But the ticketing website make more money every time there's a resale.
The processing fee was like $30. That's an exaggeration. It was probably like $20.
Yeah, it is. And it keeps going up. So, and they just don't care. As long as they've got that fee, they don't really care what happens to the ticket afterwards.
Yeah.
And that's one negative in what is an incredible time of the year.
Yeah, sorry.
The weather's turning. The magpies are swooping.
I'm going to say not in here though. I've got my puffer jacket on. Is the heating not working?
We've got the aircon on.
Well, no, we'll turn that. We've got the air conditioner. If you pass me that remote, we can turn that off. What should we crack into? Should we do news? Should we crack into news?
Yeah, sure.
Let's do it. It's time for the news with Quill Award winner, Marnie Vinyl.
Should we?
Marnie, it's time for the news, and you bring the news, and you've written down the news.
Yep.
So tell us about the news.
Well, would you like to start with AFLW or some AFL men's?
I think is it a possibility to do like a Viennetta style thing?
I don't know what you mean.
Well, like one M, one W.
Yeah, sure.
Like a parfait.
Yep.
Or a lasagna.
Okay, would you like to start with positive or negative?
I want to get the analogy right. A lasagna, a sandwich, like a club sandwich.
Yeah, club sandwich, perhaps. Like many, many Twin Towers.
Oh,
what about
Tom.
baklava?
Tom.
Baklava, yeah. Honey and...
A baklava of news.
Yeah.
Okay, yes, please. So start with a W for me, please.
Positive.
Okay.
And then we'll go...
No, negatives first.
Negative. And like lasagna, this is the bechamel of the news. And then we'll work our way down. And find out shortly if it's a vegetarian lasagna or a meat-based one.
Yeah.
Well, it's bad news for my team and your team with Taylor
My team.
Harris is out for the season with a left shoulder injury. So she's been having that niggle. It's been a lot more than a niggle of her left shoulder, which got re-injured during the Geelong match. And it was assessed that it was going to be a high risk of structural damage if she was to play on. So she's undergoing surgery and she's out for the season.
I didn't hear about the season bit. I heard that it was
That was-
re-injuring. Awful.
The word innocuous is bandied about often in the footy world, but this was truly innocuous to the point where on air
Yeah.
she got interviewed and she's like, "Yeah, I'm fine," and she could have been doing a thing where maybe she was more concerned, but I imagine she would be gutted.
Yes, I don't know if she knew how bad it was at the time because also, the scans show that she's at a high risk of structural damage. I don't know if you can feel that. She
No.
might have been feeling like, oh, this really hurts, but I will probably be able to play on. But
It's a bummer.
It's a huge bummer.
As a Melbourne fan, though, it's really, really sad because she's a great player. She's a brutal player. Like she levels people. But I still feel really, really confident because I think Kate Hoare is moving into potentially All-Australian best forward, and she's so good. She looks so good. Last year, she started incredibly well and then dropped off a little bit from memory. And if she can sustain that all year, I'm very excited about Kate Hoare.
Yeah.
And now for the first layer. Oh, sorry.
Oh, no. And then for my team, I'm going
Bonnie.
to take that out. I'm going to stop saying my team. And then for Essendon, Bonnie Toogood is out for 6 to 8 weeks with an MCL strain, which is good news that it's not an ACL injury, but 6 to 8 weeks is basically the entire season. If Essendon don't play finals, we'll see Bonnie for maybe 2 games, 2 games.
Yeah, and then it's a whole working back into form thing as well after these things can be. She looked very jovial or in good spirits yesterday in the socials I saw.
Yeah. I don't know whether you watched the game or you could see it at the ground, Tom, because you're at Windy Hill, but she was distraught, like proper distraught what she did. Also because like Amber Clark's such a young player for Essendon and she's out with concussion
Yeah.
because of that knock. But woof. And then Georgie Patricios for St Kilda, she's out for most of the season, so she's out for 8 weeks with a foot injury and she's one of their best players. So that's horrible for Saints. And I just feel like with W, these injuries, like as you mentioned on the last podcast, I'm like, they hit so hard because if you have an injury and you're out for even like 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
Yeah,
that's
especially
such
when
a
they're
huge
playing
chunk.
3 games in 2 weeks later. So if you get an injury that week,
Even a short-term injury.
yeah, it could be, I'm missing 2 weeks, but it'll actually be 3 games. Brutal.
Yep.
Yeah, brutal.
All right. And then the layer of
So now I guess we're at sort of a sauce. And I'm going to say it's a vegetable lasagna. So now we're a layer of sauce. I'm seeing in this carrot. I'm seeing in this
Celery.
Celery, very good, Tom. Yes, but of course tomato,
Yeah, of course.
and then like a Romano sauce. Give me that Romano sauce of men's news.
I love as well that Tom hasn't eaten anything today, so let's just like hammer home the lasagna speak. Sam Doherty will be playing for the Blues elimination final
can't
after
believe
he's
it.
come back
Let's talk to that.
within 6 months from an ACL injury, which is like a miracle. That's remarkable.
Yeah.
I think they are going. He's going to bring all the energy for us. It's going to be all positive. It's going to be good. I suggested to a lot of Bagger fans that he would be the sub, but they're all like, nah, he's not the sub.
I guess you want the emotional lift
Yeah.
as well as him obviously being one of their best players.
Is he still captain? Or never captain?
I don't think he was ever
Oh,
captain.
right. Okay. Yeah. I thought he was captain.
Was he before
It
Cripple?
could be a vice.
Oh, mate, I could have just made it up completely. But yeah, it's a big, he's one of those leadership players anyway. So the point remains, they'll live for him for sure.
And just a wacky stat with that is that it'll mean that his last 3 games have all been against the Lions.
Oh, my
Because
God.
he played the prelim.
3 games in a row.
Yeah, 3 games in a row, all against the Lions. So it was the 2023 prelim where they got knocked out by the Lions. And then the opening round game this year was against the Lions. And so the elimination final he comes back for is against the Lions.
That's crazy.
And third time's a charm.
That's what
I reckon.
they say.
Tom, if I can just address what you said before.
Yeah.
There's 4 people in the leadership group.
yeah.
Cripper's the captain.
Yeah.
There's 3 vice captains: Wiedering, Walsh, Curnow.
All right. So, someone in the chat saying co-captain, but not anymore. He was co-captain.
Right.
Yeah.
There's rumours and speculatory discussions about, which is a word, about our mate Charlie Curnow.
Yes. Well, the decisions still need to be made on Curnow, Mackay, Zach Williams, Mitch McGovern, TDK, Tom De Koning, Adam Chera, and Jack Martin. So there's a lot of players that...
Superstars.
Yeah.
How many was that?
I think that, they keep talking about there's 8 players. 1, 2, 3,
Who need to
4,
face a
5,
fitness
6,
test?
7. I guess it's 7 I've got written there, plus if
Doherty.
you have Doherty is 8.
But all superstars. Like, those names are incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's going to be a completely different side to the
Yeah.
side that played St Kilda.
Yeah.
If they somehow manage to miraculously, Brisbane look really good apart from 1 or 2 misses here or there. But if they somehow miraculously get through and win this, they'll get better the week after because they'll all have played a game. But it's a stretch. But if the one person who you don't want to miss is Curnow. So
Yeah.
that's the worry.
Yes. And there was some speculation because Sam Doherty's come back from an ACL injury if Bailey Smith would also come back from his ACL injury, and the Dogs have said absolutely not. We're not going to rush our player's timeline just because another player did it.
Yeah,
But
totally.
I heard that Bailey Smith is in roaring form. Like he looks really, really ready to go. But I
And
think-
about to head to Geelong.
yeah, exactly. So I'm running to Geelong. But yeah, that's the vibe. Like apparently he could play, but he won't play because he hasn't played in pretty much 2 years essentially.
Yeah.
But do you remember when he played? That's
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was...
He was really good.
I was about to say, what was that finals campaign that he was really good at, but then
Ice in
took
his
really
veins.
hard? It was, I bet you remember.
ice in his veins. You did that. Great. And now it's time for a pasta sheet of news, I guess, about the W.
Collingwood's Tani White has had her 3-match ban against Sydney's Maddie Collier upheld at the tribunal. So it was the late bump on Collier in the opener.
It was late, wasn't it?
Yes, it was
late.
very late. And part of this is, I think, been missing from the storyline as well, is that was Collier's first game back since an ACL injury. So it's her first game back from like a pretty rough injury. She does all that rehab, all that work, and then gets concussed.
Yeah.
And then is out for that game and the next game. So that sucks. But what is really, I think, has to be a talking point that the AFL need to work out is that 3 weeks is not the same as 3 weeks in the men's. And obviously the point there is, well, Colley's also out for 2 matches and doesn't the punishment need to be longer than the player that you took out? But I do think it is something that the AFL need to look at, potentially as longer the season. I don't know.
I think that makes the most sense. Was there any sort of warnings or suspensions put forward to the moths? Because there was too many moths. I was talking to Daisy Thomas this morning on Triple M. He was saying they kept hitting him in the face.
Oh, really?
So that's unacceptable.
Yeah, I had
bad.
some people like tweet that they were like nose diving into their them like watching in the
Oh,
stands.
wow.
Like,
And-
that sounds horrific.
I had a few people who know about insects message and say, these are this moth and they are migrating to the Blue Mountains. The untimely late winter heat has brought them out and they'll be gone shortly. So I don't know if they're unconfirmed sources about the moths. Okay, great.
Yeah. I also because there was a bit of dialogue at the start being like, was it high or did she get her in the shoulder? But Tani White does boundary for ABC, and she had a bump on her head. So I'm going to say, she got her high.
That's where the bump is.
So,
And now for a layer once of cheese, but I think in sauce, cheese and sauce.
I think it would be remiss of me not to mention that it is 20 years since Essendon have won a final.
Oh, I didn't hear that.
I think you might have, seeing as the first thing you said to me is happy anniversary today.
Yeah. we need to do a thing, Marns. Who's going to be first, Suns or Essendon? Because Suns are the only ones anywhere near Essendon, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Marns, when did you choose the Bombers?
Like 2013,
Yeah.
their drug year.
Yeah, 2013.
Yeah, it was a fun year.
Strange. And you've been around since about 20 similar time-ish.
Yeah, I guess so, yeah.
I need to express, and some of our audience watching will appreciate and know this as well, but when I was growing up, it will sound foreign, but Essendon were like the Death Star.
Yeah.
They were so, they were bigger than Collingwood
Yes,
in Melbourne,
absolutely.
bigger than Carlton, and they were better than, they were as good as Hawthorn with a gigantic fan base. And Kevin Sheedy was a monster. He would, how he would talk in media would just be so scary. Hurd was unbeatable. Matthew Lloyd, that whole group was it's crazy to think that I don't mean to be. I genuinely don't mean to be rude about this, but it's like empires rise and fall is all I mean to say, and it's just been like 3 or 4 missteps. The first one I think is, do you know when they hired Matthew Knights? Do you know who else went for that job in about 2008? I think it was around there. Dimmer Hardwick went for that job, and apparently I think when he was doing his presentation, the laptop broke or something, and it all went to.
Oh right.
So it wasn't meant to be.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And then obviously what happened next happened, and then it's been a weird period for a while. But like it's crazy.
Yeah, when I was at Banyule Primary School, I'm telling you, like 90% of the kids barracked for Essendon on Footy Day. We used to do the coin thing where people would bring gold coin donations and line them up in a row, and Essendon's would be like 90% of the school. It was crazy.
That's why everyone hates Essendon, no? Because everyone grew up having to like deal with all of this.
Yeah.
Because I feel like Essendon are one of those sides where like if you don't go for them, you hate them.
Yeah. And there's kids at uni who are finishing uni now who go for the Bombers, who've lived a life of famine. Yeah. Who've lived a life of no glory.
Well, who's coming up as one of their best players? Nate Caddy. He hasn't never seen a finals win because he was born in 2004.
Not yet, Marnie, but he will. Don't worry about that. But it's just, thank you for bringing that up. It's important to know.
Well, the Essendon Hotel were having an event today, and on my Facebook there was like 1.2 thousand people that clicked attending and 5,000 people that clicked interested. So I would love to see what state that pub is in right now.
What a strange thing to celebrate. It was against Melbourne that day as well, so you have the bragging rights.
Yeah, 6 points, 5 points, 6 points.
I was at that game actually.
Were you?
Yes, because do you know what this is a sad thing.
I was 5 years old.
This is a sad thing to bring up, but it was Troy Broadbridge's last game. So he got married. He was a defender for Melbourne. I was there. I remember seeing him. And then he went on his, he got married and went on his honeymoon to Phuket or Phi Island for the tsunami and didn't come back.
That's right.
And so the next game that was played in 2005, which is on YouTube, which I've watched, is a commemorative game, and the MCG's all half demolished. It's an incredible game. But yeah, so I can't believe that's 20 years ago because I'm really old. I wasn't like year 9 at the time. So yes, but sorry, I've tangented. But now we were on to a lasagna sheet with a bit of cheese.
Okay. What kind of cheese?
What, do you disagree?
Oh, I thought it was meat. I thought we were up to meat, but you did meat and cheese.
No, it's a
last
vegetarian.
time,
I did sauce.
Sauce. Sorry.
We're not. This is vegetarian lasagna.
Yeah, sure.
We touched on it last week, but I think we should talk about the Dogs double header at the MCG. And I will just say it's not a curtain raiser. It's a double header. Yes. And that is the language that we are using across the board, even though obviously some people are making a case that finals is more important than a home and away game. Whatever. We're not using curtain raiser as vernacular.
It's a Tasmanian. It's a double header.
It's a double header.
2 heads.
It just is.
Can I ask, do you have any idea how the ticketing works?
Yeah. Do you want me to tell you?
Yeah. So if you have a W ticket, can you just stick around?
Okay. So the way that they've done it is that everyone who had a ticket already to the sold-out men's elimination final can go earlier. So gates open at 4.
That makes sense.
The women's game starts at 4:30. And I would implore you, if you're one of those people, just go if you can. Like, why not? What are you going to do? Just sit around at home drinking? Go drink at the MCG instead.
Yeah, me and Mitchie Boy are going to go early, we think.
Yeah.
But I think also the MCC will be full because people want to get their seats. So there's an argument there'll be like 20,000 there for the W.
And we're going to get our metrics, and guess what? 13 games in 2020.
KPI. They've hit their KPI, the W. Exactly.
And then if you already had a ticket to the women's home game, then you get to go.
Yeah,
both,
right.
And you get to stay around for the men's.
Get to go for both.
There's a lot of
How do they work that? That's crazy.
Well, I think it's the same as like the Sydney and GWS game that they had tickets allocated, but then they released limited tickets today.
Sure, and they put them.
So I think it's like that. Right.
So I imagine the pre-sale for the W would have been a couple of thousand probably.
Yeah. Also because I think a lot of people with W decide to go last minute, or they'll buy their tickets there or whatever have you. And then for members with W tickets of Dogs and Port Adelaide, like memberships, each club had a limited number that they could allocate.
Yeah.
However they wanted to.
Cool.
To their members.
Makes sense. And when's the Whitten launch game going to be now? Do we know that yet?
Against West Coast.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is arguably better for them because actually, I don't know. West Coast might be stronger than Port Adelaide this year. You never know.
Daisy, there you go, undefeated Daisy.
But it is important to note, I think, that the Dogs fought really hard and advocated so hard for the women here. Firstly, they lobbied not to have the men's final on that night, and the AFL fixtured it anyway. And then when it was a fixtured clash, they lobbied it. And I want to be clear that not because they wanted to move the women's, but they felt they had to move the women's.
Yeah.
Also because they don't have staff to do both.
The first starting point was Sydney and GWS wanted to play Friday night and Doggies wanted the afternoon of Saturday, and they both went, no, you can have opposites.
Yeah.
And claimed ratings for it. But I feel like that would have been much of a muchness there.
But I think the Dogs had a lot planned for their home Whitten
Yeah,
game because it was the first game back from all of the refurbishments, and they had like twilight markets and things that just got scrapped, which sucks for those small businesses as well. Like I think a lot of people lost out on this.
And the stadium looks fantastic as well. I drove past it today. The refurb looks incredible.
Anyway, so we'll all collectively get there to support them for their next home game against West Coast. Tom's on it.
Though?
I don't know.
It'll be fine at some point.
No, I read an article. Can I tell you something really quickly? Slight tangent.
Yeah.
About how good your football club is. Not your football club, the Essendon, right?
Yeah.
I had, when me and Broden were working with Melbourne the other day, I had a staff member say, hey, we're doing a membership drive. Like, can you sign up to be a member, like, you know, for the D's women? I was like, fuck yeah, I don't care. Yeah, fuck yeah. And she was like, can I give you a number to the membership team? I was like, yeah, I'll be a Melbourne women's member for sure. Like, I can never go to Suns games or whatever. They haven't called me yet.
Okay.
Essendon, because I went to the Windy Hill game, have called me like 3 times asking me if I want to like cheap tickets to the next 2 games and like a $5 off the shop thing and all this stuff. And I'm like, oh, that's why Essendon has a million members, I guess.
That's worth mentioning. One of the little things is $5 off at the members shop. What's $5 getting you at the members shop?
Oh, their Pride socks are great. You get some Pride socks.
Yeah.
Instead of $30, I'll be $25.
Well, I need a onesie for my son if he's going to be a true baby bomber.
He's not. Don't do this.
It's not my choice, sadly. But yeah, I just thought that was
Tom.
interesting. It's like that's why Essendon's a big club and Melbourne's not, I guess, maybe.
Did you sign Addy up? Is Addy a member?
I think he's of the men's. I don't know if...
Oh, can you sign him up for the women's?
Yeah, I should, yeah. If they call me again, I'll sign him up.
That's nothing compared to GWS. GWS took me out for dinner the other night.
Yeah,
they take all their members out. We went to Zagami's.
What?
I'm just making this all up. We went to Zagami's in Caulfield. I had a large pizza and some chips for the table. GWS are great. Great. We're back to we're back to the source.
Yeah.
Cam Mackenzie is out for the elimination final against Bulldogs with a hamstring strain.
Oh, right. Yes,
and I know that he's not spoken about as much as a lot of the other midfielders, but I love Cam Mackenzie. I think he's fantastic.
I don't know who that is.
I also think he's fantastic because I interviewed him when he was a draftee and he was so polite, and it's rare for teenagers to just be so polite.
He plays for Hawthorn.
Oh, I see. Okay, yeah, I do know who you're talking about then.
188.
For whatever reason, I assumed you were talking about Bulldogs.
And he can speak French.
And he's
cool.
the same age as the drought of the Bombers.
Oh, good.
And he's from Brighton.
Oh, yeah.
But yes, what were we talking about? Yes,
and Will Day is also out, which obviously is not new news, but I think having Cam Mackenzie and Will Day out also just throws out some of the system and the structure.
I'll mention briefly, I've done these rev up videos for Channel 7, and the angle they took with the Hawthorn one has brought me much joy, as they made me say things like their Riz and their Skibbity and they and shit like that. And it's upset every 14-year-old boy on the internet and every man who acts like a 14-year-old boy, and I'm very much enjoying it.
What does Skibbity mean?
Skibbity? Oh, Marnie. Oh, it's so skibbity. I don't know. But it's not bad. It's just skibbity. I don't know. But they are a young energy, and there is a fair bit of what I've felt is there's a fair bit of Hawks are becoming unsociable again. There's this like the young energy of them. The Riz.
Which is short for?
I thought it was blended
Charisma.
on the
Yes.
Riz. Is it? Right.
Yes, because people often like, what does Riz mean? It's like, well,
The
it's
Riz,
charisma.
the Riz is endearing the Hawks fans. They're really around this team. Like that, I feel like they love them maybe more than their super team of the Hodgie era, maybe. And then at the other side are like, I hope they lose by 1,000,000 points on Friday night. So it's really divided audiences. But yes.
Did you see that the Hawks women also did the selfie and they had some like celebrations that were
Yeah,
like
very
very
It's spreading.
Hawthorn?
It's
Yeah.
spreading.
Yeah. But I love that like cross
Yeah.
club vibe.
Yeah.
Riz.
It's
Would
nothing
you?
better as a fan of a club than
Yeah.
seeing that when the W team was coming off at GMHBA and Gornies there went down. Like
Yeah.
that's what we like to see. Bailey Smith was part of the main training today at Whitten Oval. That's just fun to note. That's going to be such an exciting. Are you going Friday night?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going.
Are you going to?
I don't get to go, no.
Would you want to go?
I don't have any fancy media passes or MCC memberships.
You're a
that you
salt
two
of the
have.
earth bloke.
I'll just go down to Windy Hill with my son and sit there, I guess.
Sit there.
Watch it on KO.
With your $5 off voucher. Great. And is that all the new? We got more news.
I was just going to say that also over the weekend in W, it was 75 games for Anne Hatchard, Emma Carney, and Emma King. And that is remarkable
Huge.
to get to 75 in AFLW where this year it's 11 rounds. Last year it was 10. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's so hard to rack up that many games. It's actually a fantastic feat.
Yeah.
No,
totally.
Emma. I saw Emma Kearney at the launch.
Carney.
Carney, sorry.
He does
But
this
it's
every time.
EARNY.
And that's why I stressed it when I said it, because every time you say it on the podcast, I'm like, it's Carney.
Key three things to take away from Emma Kearney. 1, saw at W, starstruck. 2, played for the Stars
Yes.
in cricket.
Oh, right.
3, same uni as us.
Went to Federation.
Correct.
Oh, wow.
So we know they're good.
Yeah.
And she's going to be a fantastic coach as well. She's part of the Alistair Clarkson's
Yeah.
coaching.
Yeah.
Coaching people? What's it called? Coaching group?
Posse.
Yeah. Part of his coaching posse.
Yeah, great. Well, that's huge congratulations to all of them. 75 in W is massive.
Massive. And then I've just got some little stats and stuff on all of the finals when we go through
We'll
them.
crack into it. Shall we crack into it
Yeah,
then?
great. Do you want to hear my ladder predictions before we move on?
Yes,
Please. Oh, yes. Tom has gone through our ladder predictions from the start of the year and accrued who was the best.
Yeah. So,
Can we get a prize for whoever was number one?
but you already
No
know it's
money.
money.
No, but I could
Yeah,
pretend
money.
I didn't know.
So-
And can I have a prize?
Can whoever came, what did I come?
You came last.
Whoever came last get $1 million.
You can have a wooden spoon, and
Yeah.
I can have the football?
Yeah, it's all yours.
$140.
I know.
It's got a chip in it.
So in the first part of the year, we did our ladder predictors, and we had a little guess of where everyone should be, and we checked in mid-year on it, and now we've done it for the final year, and it's very fun for me. I love seeing where we were wrong and by what. So I'll just do a quick top line. So Broden was the worst. He was 78 positions off. But all of us improved from our mid-year predictions, which is interesting. So I'd say the highlights of Broden where he missed out is he had Geelong finishing in 15th, which is off by 12.
Can I say I led with comedy, and in the comedy charts I won.
Yeah.
I'm the premier of comedy.
He also had Collingwood in 18th and they finished in 9th.
But no, hey,
Yeah.
hey,
Yeah.
hey.
And
No
I'd
one
say-
had him out of the 8. No one had them out of the
And
8.
if he was just a little more realistic with those, he probably would have been closest because he had a lot. Like he had GWS off by 1. You were bang on about the Saints. You had them in 12th. They finished 12th. And you had a lot off by 1.
Oh.
With me, I was a little more mild, but mostly 4 or 5 off on everyone. So where I was bang on was with Saints, Gold Coast and North. But then my furthest off was Geelong. I had them in 9th. And I also had Hawks in 15th, which was a big mistake because they
incorrect.
finished 7th. Marnie, of course, won. You were only 70 off Marnie, the total.
70.
Yeah, 70. Marnie, you didn't have your most furthest off was 8. So you were very good.
Oh,
so
you were
the
kind
two
of, you sustained mid.
sustained excellence. So you, so your biggest, the two you were furthest off about, which is interesting, is Collingwood, who finished 9th. You had them in 1st.
Yeah.
And Adelaide, they finished 15th. You had them in 8th.
I had so much hope for Adelaide this year.
Yeah, but you were bang on about GWS. You were off by 1 with Essendon, which is interesting. And everything else you were 2 or 3 off, basically. So
Sounds about right.
Very interesting, I'd say.
No one else is reflecting on them on their start of the year predictors, are they? They're afraid.
Yeah, whereas we just look at it head on, you know?
Well, that's
Yeah.
good, Tom. Thank you for bringing that in.
No, it's fun.
Because I would never have looked back.
I know.
No,
we're
I
like,
force you guys to do it because I'm like, if we're doing a predictor at the start of the year, we have to check in about it.
But we've never engaged with tipping and who won that or anything.
Well, no, you should do that this week. Who won the tipping? You should say who won the tipping.
We'll do that shortly.
You should, Broden.
I assume
Yeah.
it's too late to do one for W. We're 1 round in. I don't know if we have time today.
Yeah, what do you reckon? Because we should once we are covering W full time. So it's really up to you whether we should do it this week as well.
I think we should.
We could just submit them for socials if we don't have time to do it
Yes,
today.
I like that, Marns. I think that's good stuff.
Yeah.
Do you want me to say about who won the comps?
Yeah, please.
Yes.
That'd be great.
So it was called Bounce That Tip. There was 1,900 members.
Yeah.
I was ranked as 1,200. And
I
I
wasn't
want to
much better, I
say
don't think.
but the person who won had a huge tipping numbers. They got 146.
Yeah, it's insane.
That's really, really
That's
high.
like 45
That's
better
an
than me or something.
Average
yeah.
of 5.8.
Yeah.
So 6-ish. Just under 6, if you know your with a total margin of 730.
Wow.
That's amazing.
I don't know what that means, but
Incredible.
That margins are good. You put them in your books before you write in primary school.
How'd you go in fantasy, Marns, with W?
Now, please
Oh.
just announce the person.
Oh, sorry. I thought that was the end of it. I'm so sorry.
Please welcome our winner for this year, and they ran from this early on, is Brendo's Badgers,
Brendo.
whose name is Brendan. I know their name's Brendan, and they've won. It's a very, very good ending. Can I also a notable mention to the 2 people who finished second, Big Dog Connor on 144, which is a great number, and Luke PG, who was on 144 as well, and just that's huge.
Yeah.
Marns, I don't know where you would be. I don't think you did this one.
No, you
what was your
didn't do this
number
one.
you ended up with?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, who cares?
Yeah.
Yeah,
who cares?
for sure.
I don't care.
It's
That
fun.
thing,
Do you know what
who
you got?
knows?
No, I can't remember, but people love to look back on it, so it's nice to acknowledge the people that won.
Brendo's
Yeah.
Badgers absolutely dominated.
Yeah, if I did well, I would be encouraging us to talk more about it.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, you did do well.
I can find what you got, Tom. I found Tom Dom. You had 121. So
Oh,
25 behind the leader.
And I would have got 131 if I didn't tip North 10 times because I thought it's going to be this week for sure.
I was 115, which is just horrid.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm so bad at. I know nothing about football.
But it's so funny because I was really bad and I really caught up at the end. I had 3 8s out of 9 to end the season.
Congratulations.
That's great.
Yeah. It's the Suns that let me down in the last round. They were the only ones I didn't tip. I didn't back them in.
146 in this year as well, where no one was tippable.
Yeah.
Also, you didn't back them in against Richmond?
No.
Okay. Well, that's on you.
Yeah.
Speaking of all this tipping.
Tipping.
You got one.
Tipping. Tipping.
You're back.
It could be me just G'ing up something that. No, I believe this. These 4 games are so exciting. I'm so excited for these games. Every one of them a different way.
Yeah, they all have their own unique flavour to them for sure.
Let's go around one by one, passing the pill, and say what game we're most excited for.
Yep. Oh, I'm really not sure. Can I do process of elimination?
Okay?
I think that Port and Geelong, I'm not too passionate about either side. It'll be a fucking ripper game, but I don't really care. Brisbane and Carlton, similar. I think the Vic bias in me is wanting to say Doggies Hawks because that's a fucking ripper game. But I think it's Sydney GWS.
Wow. There you heard it here first. Tom's favourite game is the Sydney one.
Mine might have been Sydney GWS, but Essendon West Coast are playing at the same time and I'm working that game. So I'm going to have a divided attention, which kind of sucks a little bit. And Hawks Bulldogs, is one of them's going home and they both could theoretically win the entire thing. So that one's the most exciting. But I just hope it's close. I really hope it's close.
Yeah.
And I'll be there.
Feels like how can it not be?
Thank you.
Also, I want to see Carlton get booted out.
Oh, there is for me. There is no argument that the Friday night game elimination is so exciting. And they
Yeah.
both
Yeah.
could win the flag.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, what do you mean?
Well,
Kelly.
one of them he's good enough to go on. Shall we? I'm very excited for that one, but I'm also huge. I'm so excited about Sydney GWS that I'm flying to Sydney to see it and braving the moths. I'm braving my life.
Are you going to go full GWS? Will you be there in like all orange?
Absolutely not.
Oh, but you're the person.
But then I do you know, I genuinely feel deep down, I feel that
Don't want to get beat up.
I feel that I let everyone down
Yeah.
when I go for them. Don't back that in. I feel like whenever I truly go for someone, they lose. So I'm just going to watch the game because I don't want to put that energy on this poor team. I had someone very firmly say to me how GWS do not have fans and they're not going to make it. And that's not my experience from doing this podcast. I think there is a contingent of hardcore GWS fans. It's been 15 years who are locked in. It's not the biggest fan base and they've got 30-odd thousand members. I'm putting out there maybe that's not all real people, but I would say that there is a true army, or maybe not an army, maybe a militia, maybe a scout group of GWS fans who really exist now.
Yeah, there's more than the Suns for sure. It shows what success does. I think I've yet to meet a Suns fan really.
Oh,
but
we've got Suns
plenty
fans.
of GWS fans out there.
But even the guest that you had in your Saturday episode,
Who was it?
he's in the
Saturday.
Chaser.
Who was that? Oh, Chaz.
Chaz,
Yeah, Chaz. He was saying in that episode that he couldn't go for Sydney when he first moved to Sydney because they had no fans. Why would you?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
look at
yeah,
them
look at them
now.
now.
Like, it's so easy to be so negative.
And Sydney fans,
Please.
and we've got lots of Sydney fans.
Heaps.
Sydney fans hate GWS.
yeah, I know.
And
It's so different.
awesome. Like, I've talked nicely with Swans fan, then I'll mention GWS. I go, but the thing about them is they have no fans. And the thing about them, like, they really start to, like, I thought you were the handsome, nice people who go out for a nice drink afterwards, whether you win or lose and you're red and white. Let's crack into the tipping though, shall we? So it starts, hey, the biggest story of the weekend, Thursday night footy's back.
I love Thursday footy. Where are you going to watch it? Because it's non-Victorian.
Yes.
I'm going to stream it, I think, if anyone wants to tune in.
Oh, are you?
I bought a TV for it and an antenna.
You
Yeah,
bought a
did you buy-
TV just for this?
Yeah, so I can watch it live because people on Twitch complain that there's a Twitch delay and a KO delay. So when they're watching on 7, I'm talking like 30 seconds later. So I was like, fuck it.
Oh, this is breaking news. This is the biggest news of the week. You went to JB and you got an aerial.
Well, I've ordered it.
Oh.
I haven't picked it up yet. Don't give me more credit than it's worth.
Click and collect?
Yeah, click and collect from Preston. No, Greensboro home. No, Preston home.
When are you getting it?
Tomorrow.
Has to be tomorrow because the game's tomorrow.
What time?
I'll just.
I won't dox you and say when you're going to be at what time, but
So I was planning
You get
because
flooded by
you need
fans.
to be at work really early tomorrow.
Yeah.
And I want to watch a bit of that. So I'll probably come in like 11-ish. So on the way.
and then when will we know if the antenna worked? Because he's doing, it's not an antenna in the wall situation. It's a satellite.
Yeah. It's like a little satellite. And it's only got 25-kilometer range. And apparently my nearest tower is quite far away. So it might not work.
I'm stressed. I'm so stressed.
What do you mean? So the satellite's inside?
It's a little antenna, like a little
Like in the
portable
olden
antenna.
days.
Yeah, but it's 2024. I don't understand why you would have a.
Because he doesn't have it in the wall.
I don't have it in the wall. And KO's got this delay.
He does have it in the wall, but not in the wall where you need it in the wall.
Yeah, I couldn't get an electrician in time for the finals.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I could have.
Well, call out if there's anyone listening who's an electrician that can get to Tom's house before 7 p.m. tonight.
I'm so excited to see if this digital antenna works.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I need a set-top box as well.
No,
Probably not with a new TV.
no,
Probably not. Yeah.
No, you'll need to DTV. You'll need to obviously make it find channels.
Yeah, so the antenna will do that, apparently.
No. You'll go into settings and it'll say,
Yeah.
once you've plugged it in, it'll say.
Yeah, it'll say that, yeah.
I'm so excited.
So if
That is
anyone
very
wants to
exciting.
join me, then feel free tomorrow night.
I'll
But
be at the pub.
Yeah.
Well, that's right. That's nice.
Yeah, with my
You
friends.
can have dinner or a drink.
I'll probably have a beverage.
Wow.
You can still tune into the Twitch, Marnie.
Yeah, that's true. I can. I'll have one ear in.
I'm just jossing.
He's just jossing.
I'm
I'll
just
get
jossing.
overexcited. I'll start with Bar Romantica in the chat.
You there?
Yep.
This game is big.
Yep.
But I listened to, I'm only going to mention him once, Daniel Hoyne.
Hoyne.
And he made me feel a bit flat about this game because he said statistically this is a very simple story to tell. GWS Giant Geelong don't win it in the middle. They win it on the outside. So when there's games that are boggy or muddy, like the game against the Doggies at GMHBA, they will not win that game. But if they get it out to the wings on a clean, nice, dry night, which Adelaide Oval will be tomorrow night, there's no way that they lose. Is essentially statistically what they reckon.
You know, it'd be really funny if a bunch of poor people listening to this just throw buckets of water onto the ground.
I mean, I would go down, do it,
Make it muddy.
Get them hoses down there because I think Port are strong in the middle because they've got players like Butters, which is slippery. Butters is slippery.
Yes.
Horn Francis, who is probably now a league leader in his role. Rosie, who is also very good.
And a dad now.
And a dad.
Boak,
He's chuffed.
who's playing on.
Boak, well, they reckon he wants to. But they haven't offered him a contract.
I haven't know. I thought they did. Okay.
There's a talk, but
I heard that Port were happy to let him play for as long as he wanted. That's what I heard. Could be wrong.
They haven't locked it in yet.
Right,
But I've heard he'd play forever if he could.
Yeah.
Which he can't because we will all die.
Yeah.
But let's not talk about existentialism and our role on this earth and why we're here. Let's talk about who you're tipping, both of you.
I'm tipping Cats. I know last time they met, Power won by 6 at GMHBA. And if you remember that game, Port were up by like 20 or something. Like they were up by heaps early on and then the Cats just stormed home but couldn't win it.
Yeah.
But Power have won 8 out of their last 9.
Yeah.
But Cats have won 7 out of their last 9.
Oh, God, it's closer than...
I know. It's exciting.
I give Geelong very little chance. I think it'll be a very clear and decisive Port Adelaide win. And that's no bias. That's just what I think. I'll be happy if Geelong wins. I like Geelong.
Great.
I'm tipping Geelong to win. But I don't want that.
Didn't you think they would finish 15th on the ladder, Broden?
For comedy purposes,
Oh,
sure.
yeah, comedy, yeah, like Collingwood.
Yeah, well, that was close on that
I think
comedy.
Geelong was real. I think
Sometimes
Geelong was real and Collingwood
there's an
was
element
comedy.
of truth to every joke. The next game is, of course, the Friday night 90,000 at the MCG. Doggies taking on Hawthorn, which is a doubleheader, by the way, with another game just beforehand. Hawthorn Dogs. My truth is that
Skibbity.
is Skibbity. That is my truth. But Hawthorn, we said it on Sunday, but like when you think about for which team would it be more devastating to lose this game, and it's pretty clearly the Dogs. So I'm tipping the Dogs.
I do love that there's an element of like actual tension that's like just entered the room talking about these finals and you're clutching that ball like a baby. You are gripping it so tightly.
And I do this thing the whole podcast as always.
He's twirling his cord.
I was like, stakes are so high.
I think all 8 of these teams, 1, 2, 3, 4, 8.
You have to count that.
Yeah, I'm freaking out. I dropped Massive.
well.
I think all of them, I think all of their fan bases have a genuine belief that they can win the flag.
Yeah, which is very exciting.
Carlton least so.
Yeah, well.
But they all do think, hey, maybe we can do this. Where in other years you go, well, we've got to get past that team. So Hawthorn fans are revved. Doggies fans think they can win it. And I think they can too. And you think they can too, Tom. You've said that a lot.
Yeah, so I keep thinking, basically where I'm at is my head. I haven't changed since Sunday. My head is saying Doggies. So I've backed them in all year. I think they've got the better list, more finals experience. But my heart says the Hawks are the ones.
Oh, you think they'll win?
Well, do you follow your head or your heart, Broden?
I follow my comedy.
In the Power of One, they say first with the head, then with the heart.
In Power of One
Yeah,
What's that?
by Bryce Courtney.
yeah.
It's about South Africans.
It's
morning.
It's like the main sort of motivation. It's like PK's sort of main boxing motivation.
The main guy.
Yeah, as you go into
part of one
you go into
morning.
a fight with your head, but you finish the fight with your heart.
I like that.
It's a story of South Africa. I'll stop. Please.
The light in your eyes when I mention.
I do. It's a character I do. It's a whole thing.
Yeah.
Who are you tipping?
Well, the Dogs are the number 1 in defence of the competition. So on average, they concede 75.5 points a game. So that is a very stringy, is that the word? Stringent defense.
Yeah.
And then the Hawks forward line is rascal behavior. And it's so fun to watch and it's so exciting. And I do think that they absolutely feed off momentum. So that could be a very interesting watch. But I think that Hawthorn without Will Day, who I'm just going to say is their best player.
Yeah, I think
And
I
then
agree.
you've got Bont in finals, so he's going to step it up a notch, maybe.
course, yeah.
And then like Trelaw, he also just got his first AA blazer. Like he's going to be full of confidence.
Yeah.
I reckon doggies.
Yeah. Good. Hopefully they're all close, but hopefully this is a close game.
Yeah. Also, I've written down here Gary Ayres medal ? Because I know I'm introducing this halfway through, but should we have like just a random player that we tip for the best
Playing
finals
good.
player? Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. It is fun.
Bont.
Yeah, I was like Bont, but then what if doggies go out
Yeah.
first week?
I think a safer one would be Isaac Heaney.
Oh, I love
He's been the best
that.
player all year, really.
When the
But it's often someone random. Like last year it was Jack Chris, which is not random, but it's not like he's the Collingwood best player.
100%.
Right?
I agree
It
that
was
it's
Jack
random.
Chris last year? He got the best finals maybe for Collingwood.
Right.
Who got it last year? I'm going to
pick a random
guessed
headband
Dacos.
wearing Geelong player. That would be my tip.
Oh, you know,
Ollie Dempsey.
yes, Ollie Dempsey, but also Tom Stewart because he's playing a bit of mid.
He's not mid. He's Riz.
Skibber it.
Oh, guess who won it last year?
Who?
Sam Walsh.
Interesting.
And then the year before that, Paddy Dangerfield. The year before that, Jack McRae. The year before that, Dusty Martin.
How many games did Carlton play?
One,
Three.
2. They got to a prelim.
Two.
So maybe 3. I don't know. They got to a prelim. They lost to the Lions in a prelim.
No, they were bottom of the top. They played 3.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, 3's enough to win it then.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Usually in NBA, the finals MVP is the best player in the best team who wins it all.
Who
Like,
wins
it's
it
very
all, yeah.
straightforward. Like last year, it would have been Dacos or Pendlebury or something,
Yeah.
or side bottom.
I can see it be someone like Butters.
In the doggies rev up, which will come out at some point.
Tomorrow.
The dog. Everyone's upset because I coined a new word that none of these team people had used before. It's when you use a montage of him, you call it the bontage.
That's good. I like that.
I love a montage.
Cue the bontage.
Yeah, I like
So yeah, great. And then the Battle of the Bridge, third one for this year. Is that right?
Yes. And it's the 4th time that they'll be meeting in September. And guess who's won every single past meeting in September?
GWS.
Yeah.
And the last 3 that they've actually played, Sydney's won. So
Yep.
not final. So it's
Yep.
Weird dichotomy there.
Well, and also because their young crew was asked about it in Sydney. So like Errol, Chad, and I think Logan McDonald spoke on it, but Chad and Errol especially. And they're like, what record? What? Well, we were too young for them anyway. They were very much like different side.
Yeah, and then not wrong.
Yeah.
I'm genuinely curious who you're both tipping for this.
Giants for sure for me.
I think that I've tipped Giants, but I would not be surprised if Sydney win this.
Same, pretty much exactly the same, yeah.
And to note, both sides have very big inclusion. So Swans get back Heaney, Tom McCartan, Tom Papley, Justin McInerney. So
Really?
they have to work out what to do.
Somewhere
there.
deliberately rested, obviously. Heaney was deliberately rested, as was McInerney. Yeah.
Well, no, he's been injured for ages.
All right. Who's the
I
someone
thought
was?
Heaney was a late out.
Yeah, I think that was a
Yeah.
cheeky rest.
Yeah,
Cheeky
yeah.
rest, yeah.
But
And
they didn't rest that many.
And then the Giants, Brett Daniels, Isaac Cumming, Jack Riccardi, Lockie Ash, and Toby Bedford is a chance. He needs to have a test for his
They're
calf.
both really strong ends.
Yeah.
They're both really strong.
I know,
ends.
it's really exciting.
And
This is really exciting.
GWS have kind of got through the year uninjured for a large part of it as well. Obviously, fringe players and bits and little ones here or there, but they've got through pretty scot-free. Who are you tipping?
A GWS, yeah.
Who are you tipping? Oh, yeah, I've tipped Giants, but not confidently at all.
Yeah.
Also, I think I've just tipped Giants because I think that makes a more interesting narrative. I would love Sydney to work harder for the flag that they're going to win.
Yeah.
I might do the same as you, Marnie. Not confidently tip the Giants, but also I think in my head I see Giants losing, but that being okay because then they play Brisbane or Carlton.
Opposite. I think Giants will win, but Sydney will win the flag.
Yeah, that's what I think.
Really exciting stuff.
It's weird, but yeah.
And then the last game, I think, has the potential to be the deadest of the rubbers, but Maybe not.
Maybe not.
So Carlton, Brisbane at the Gabba that night, Saturday night.
And you also don't want to be like, oh, Lions have this wrapped up. I think that would be a very dangerous take to have.
Oh yeah, yes, very much so.
Carlton are on their own, but there are two very different narratives because the Lions started 2-5, where the Blues have lost 6 of their last 8 games. So Lions are really, they started pretty slow and then have stormed home, where Blues started all right and then just kind of collapsed a little bit towards the end.
They're incredibly dominant in large parts of the ground, but when they kick bad, they lose.
Yeah.
So there's a real volatility to them. I think they'll win by 45, 50, 60 points.
Yeah, I think by 70 for sure.
I think
70.
80.
Last time they met, guess who won and by how much, if you can't remember?
I can't remember.
Last 2 times these teams played.
What round was it, Manny?
I haven't written the round down.
That's fine.
Carlton.
I was just
By
going to say.
how much?
Carlton by 1 point.
So the Blues were down by 46 points and then they came back to win by 1 point.
Was that after the siren kick, maybe?
Must
Maybe
have
no,
been.
I don't know.
remember.
No, I have vague memories of this. It was a while back, and this year's been crazy.
But the last time, I didn't mention it, the last time that Bulldogs and Hawks met, the Hawks won with a match winner from Sicily.
Oh, fun.
Remember, like he got taken off because of his like shoulder, I think it was, and they were like he might be done because it's a dislocation or whatever.
Yeah.
And then he came back and scored the match winner.
Amazing.
Great. Okay, I'm so excited for these games. I feel like I've been waiting for them for ages.
You have
Because the men's took their bye, and so it has been a while. But this is much better. I can't express to you how painful the 2021 grand final bye before the grand final was. Utter hell. Do you remember that?
Oh, yeah, it sucked all the life out of it for sure.
It was hell. I was in so much pain for
Yeah.
2
This one
weeks.
didn't bother me at all because I really flicked onto the W and got invested in that for a weekend.
And they got some good airtime.
Yeah, it's going to be really hard to try and watch more W this weekend. That's the only downer. But after this weekend, it'll only be 2 games a week. So
Yes, and then we've got, as of October 1st, essentially, it's got free air for 2 months.
Yeah.
So a month of regular season and then the finals to lock in.
And we start our live tour next week.
Fuck! Yes.
yeah, going to
So
Sydney. This
on-
time next week we'll be in Sydney. on
If you head to
stage.
the link tree, mates at Quizmasters have made a questionnaire that's city specific, and if you want to be part of the fun of that, 300 people have done it already. But please come and do that quiz; it's very fun and will be a very fun part of the show. Perth is sold out. Sydney, there's still tickets available. Adelaide, there's still tickets available. Melbourne's late show, there is a handful of tickets available for that. Get in quick. But yes, we would be doing next Wednesday's pod from Sydney.
Yeah, we're going to do it from the stage of the Comedy Store.
Yes.
Then log off and then do the live
Live
pod.
And we're all so exhausted just getting those sentences out.
Yes.
Should we rapid fire AFLW tip?
Yes,
love
let's do
to,
it.
yeah.
Rapid fire.
All right, Western Bulldogs Port.
Port.
Melbourne Lions.
Here at Casey.
Yeah.
Melbourne.
D's.
Yeah, I've also gone Melbourne, but that's spicy.
Yes.
West Coast Eagles, Essendon.
Ooh.
West Coast.
Where?
West
Where?
Coast. Mineral Resources Park,
At Minerals Resources, so in Perth.
which is still the funniest name of the stadium.
Trust
ever.
in Daisy.
Yeah.
I've also gone West Coast, but Essendon are the favourites there. Collingwood, Hawthorn,
I'll go Collingwood just because of Sabrina.
Frederick Traub.
Just fucking unbelievable. I watched the whole game. Just unbelievable. So I'll go Collingwood just for that.
As
He's
the
one of the first people. He was one of the first faces of the W. Like,
inaugural player, yeah.
forever ago.
Just like that Max Gorn thing of playing fullback, rucking, playing
amazing.
forward. Like,
Yeah.
She was in that Commando show.
What?
Yeah, SAS.
Yeah, SAS.
Really?
Yeah.
That's funny as.
Yeah. Collingwood Hawks at Victoria Park.
Hawks.
Yeah, I've gone Hawks.
Collingwood.
Richmond Giants.
Giants.
Yep.
Giants. They look so good. Did you know they were good?
They played the Western Bulldogs, but
Yeah, but-
Richmond for sure.
Okay. Yeah, I've gone Giants as well, but not confidently. Suns Carlton.
Have you done anything about the 800%?
I just tweeted about it.
That's so
funny.
cool.
I know, it's very cool. You know, speaking numbers and Giants, where's the 69 for Jesse Hogan's goals, Broden?
Yeah.
true.
Well, I think it's childish. I don't know. I don't know why people bring this up to me. It's awful.
Suns Blues.
I think Suns, can I just say really quickly, I think the Suns went bad last week. Saints were really awesome and also just slotted amazing goals. And I think the Suns are still good. They were just a little bit off and they'll be good, I think.
First game.
Yeah.
First game.
Yeah.
Blues will power back, and that Frankston game inadmissible.
Oh, because of the wind?
Yes,
Oh, my God.
inadmissible as a
honestly.
football game. Like you can't You can't go by any of the stats or points from that, and not real. It's like doing it in where those buildings where you do the fake skydiving.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So I reckon
Yeah.
Blues will look really good this week.
So you're tipping the Blues?
I've gone Suns.
I'm going Suns.
North Melbourne, Geelong. This is also going to be a very good game.
North.
I've also gone North. St Kilda, Sydney.
Suns.
Okay.
Swans, I mean.
I want to go St Kilda after last week. Having watched the game, they just
It's at their home.
were sliced and
Where is it?
sliced the Suns up.
RSEA Park.
No moths.
No moths.
You know,
Can Sydney do it without the moths?
we'll see. I'm
Yeah.
telling them.
No. I've also gone St Kilda. Freo, Adelaide. In Fremantle Oval.
Adelaide.
Yeah, I've also gone Adelaide.
Powerhouse.
I've gone all home teams except for Port and Adelaide. They're the only away teams I've gone.
The upsets that will happen this round, or it's too early, way too early to get a read on a lot of these. But also, you've not only got to figure out which teams are actually good and which teams are actually bad, but also the grounds may play such a key role. It's like cricket.
Yeah.
It's like, what's the pitch? What's the...
And 9 months off just can swing a team so hard as well. Yeah.
Yeah. And big injuries here or there can really change it too. Like Bonnie, a Bonnie too goodless Essendon is very different to
Yeah.
the start.
It's a much better length of game, can I just say too?
Oh, totally.
I reminded
Oh,
that on the
I
weekend.
agree.
So much better.
Yeah, 17-minute quarters plus time on in the last 2
Yeah.
minutes.
And halftime doesn't drag.
Yeah.
Like, you
get
back
your
on pretty
chippies.
quick. Yeah. Get going.
Okay.
Great. Hell yeah. Well, thank you everyone for being with us this week. Thank you for sticking around later and staying up. 8:07 it's now.
let's go to bed.
It is
Yeah,
bedtime.
I'm ready for bed.
Poor old Tommy. Been up since 5. Everyone enjoy the footy this week. I know I will. And I know these two will. But everyone else, I want you to go to sleep tonight and dream of bouncing that pill. And can I say to you, community, still on the YouTube, thank you for being so lovely and positive. The chat is very, very nice. And there's been a good core of people hanging out with us. People talking about Frankston Stadium is on the edge of a cliff looking over Port Phillip Bay, which is true. Yeah. What are you going to have for din-dins?
I've got I didn't eat my lunch, so I have a choice. For lunch, I've just got a big fuck off salad, like with a big block of feta in there. But I've also got an open souvlaki in the fridge. So just microwave some lamb, put it in.
Open.
Well, it's just it's meat and salad.
A bowl.
Yeah, and I've got good natural yogurt as well, which is nice.
And for Marnie for din-dins.
You know what I've been loving recently? Quiches. You buy quiche, like you can buy it from Coles, quiches that are this
Yep.
big.
It's-
And put them in the
yeah,
freezer.
yeah.
My partner is vegetarian. It's a staple in our house. I will have
Yeah.
some sort of protein and she will have the quiche and we'll have the similar sides.
Protein.
Yes. And that's a nice way of saying a chicken or a salmon or a brisket or a, what you will. What is everyone eating at home? You can't watch unless you say what you're eating or have eaten. Thank you everyone as well for all the lovely things said around the rev ups. I very much enjoyed doing them. And it's really, really nice. And
You're everywhere.
I know too much.
No.
I need to go into a Japanese, what's it called? Onsen.
Onsen.
And disappear.
You're like Margot Robbie during the Barbie movie. This is your Barbie tour.
Is it?
Yeah, because you're everywhere. You're in every time I'm listening to a podcast, you're the ad breaks. Every time I
sorry.
turn on the TV, you're doing the hype videos. Every
Okay,
time I
get
go
it.
on social media.
I do need to go
Your
away.
face.
There's too much Broden.
I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying it's
I am. There's too much me. I look in the mirror and go, not that guy. Thank you, Hugh, for the $5.
Thank you.
Thanks for making such a wonderful, inclusive community for everyone to be a part of. You're doing an amazing job, so keep it up. P.S. Calm the Dons.
Calm the Dons.
That feels like you'd like that.
Come on, the Dons.
You guys doing Mission Zach live? Going to Mission Zach live?
I will be.
Where is it?
It's downstairs.
When?
They're doing a podcast festival here at Stupid.
Oh
Old.
yeah, what's that festival
When?
called?
In your ears or some
They
shit.
didn't ask us.
No.
It's because we do footy, but
Yeah.
we got a very special guest this weekend
Yeah, that's true. actually.
called an expert in football. Zach
Yeah.
is on the pod,
Zach's in the pod.
and Mark will be on the pod, and they both.
We're not ring-ins.
There weren't ring-ins. They know a lot about football. We're doing it in the year, some fun energy, but
It
also
is really fun.
we've balanced that with some actual football people, and then into W. We're getting as many W players in as we can. We're going round. We're getting min.
Oh my God, yeah. Suggest W players that you think would be good value or that you would like to have in.
Oh yes, please do. I think Bonnie should become a regular panelist now that
Got a few
rehab.
weeks off.
Yeah, well, I'll put it to her. The only thing that I think is that I think she's going to knowing her, try and up her leadership, which was already like at 110 because she's.
We need that leadership here.
We actually, yeah.
So
We do.
well, I did in fantasy. I wanted to ask you on pod, but I forgot. I just was like, everyone that we're friends with and I've met, I'll put in my team, right?
Nice.
So I put in Mimi Hill and made her captain.
Great.
So I did very poorly this week.
Yeah.
Poor Mim.
Okay. But you would have done worse having Bonnie, who got
Yes,
5 premiership, got 5 fantasy points before that clashed.
And also I decided it would be smart to tank the ruck. So I got Darcy Davies from the Suns because I love her. I think
Oh,
she's
not
great.
bad. I mean,
not bad, but compared
not
to other rucks
yeah.
in a fantasy sense. So yeah, I'm doing very bad, but I'm enjoying it.
Do a Riverside
Great.
with Dakota Davidson and me. What right do you have? Just really go.
Can we get her on before? Okay, if the Lions
Yes.
make fun, okay.
Yeah, no, I'm going to lean on you for the media connections here, but I would love to get them
Whoever
on.
you want.
Yeah.
Because they want to.
Yeah, no, I want them. We want them on. Can I do a shout out as well for a friend of the pod? Chids, Alex Chidiak got engaged.
Oh my God, did you see the video?
Yeah,
It
what a
was
fun-
so
what a
cute.
fun-
Also a Tilly.
Yeah.
Such a fun time.
Yeah, no, I didn't see the video.
It was very
Did
cute.
like posters on the wall sort of thing.
that's
But also just like in clear Alex Chidiak style, didn't have people guarding off the area. So you had random.
Yeah, walking through. It's worth the watch. It's quite funny.
Yeah, Taylor Harris, come on.
Yeah, of course. A very I don't know if you've seen her do media, but so softly spoken.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Very
and
softly
tattooed
spoken.
in a lip.
Cool.
We should box.
Yeah.
He teaches about boxing. Oh man, I'm so excited. But let's get out of here. Poor old Tom's fading. I'm fading. Got to eat. Marnie's fading. You all go to bed. Good night. Go to sleep. We'll see you all whenever. Have a good weekend. Bounce, pill, hooroo. Bye. Thank you to her.
Goodbye to my family.
Marnie's family for watching.